first thing I'm going to touch on are our products here at Busy Bee. You've got the insects in your possession now. For your mealy bugs, whitefly, those kind of things, you can do what we call a contact kill with. It's something you can spray on them that kill them immediately. It's a broad spectrum insecticide. You can use this. It kills on contact, but I wouldn't use it on a regular basis because they do become immune to any of this really if you use it over and over and over again, and it will not help you at all in your garden. But if you have an infestation of something and you're not really sure what it is, you can go to that. Or you can come to Busy Bee and we'll tell you what to do for it specifically. I'm a big advocate of target pest control to actually go after the insect with the product that is going to take care of that insect and not all the insects that you have in your garden because some of them are beneficial. We have some products that are systemic. These things go into your plant's body, and any plant destroying insects that come up there and try to invade them, chew on them, eat them, suck the life out of them, this stuff's going to kill them. But it does take up to 2 to 3 weeks to start working. So keep that in mind when you're, you know, applying it. You may want to get a little bit more aggressive with something else to kill them on contact and then apply this for future problems. This, some of them can last up to 120 days. Our root drench, this one can last up to 120 days in the plant. I still recommend doing it every 3 months because you're running the risk of that not being in there. And don't use the same one all the time. Like you can use this one for a year, then go to this one for a year. This is more of a foliar application. You can hook it right up to your hose and spray it down. Make sure you get up underneath the leaves because sometimes when they're laying their eggs, that's where they're going to be, is up underneath the plant leaves or behind the bush itself. We also have this comes out as you're spraying it. It dilutes itself, but it's concentrated in the bottle, so don't try to use it straight out of here. You got to hook it up to your hose. Then we have these, the little spray bottles. This is already mixed, so you can apply it right out of the bottle. Then we have these little guys that you have to mix in a pump-up mixer. I don't recommend trying to dilute it enough for one of these. It's not going to work. We sell these guys at Busy Bee. You got your backpacks, your little 1 gallons. That's how you mix up this. Your instructions are on the back of every product. Read them because you've got your rates of application. I've copied a cheat sheet. Lisa Jane. I've copied a cheat sheet on how to apply or how to mix these things up. And it has all of the products that we have here at Busy Bee on that. This is strictly for pots. Your potted plants indoors, you don't really want to be taking them out, spraying them, bringing them back in. So you can use this. It's the same thing as this. It's a systemic, but it's on a clay carrier. You sprinkle it around your plant, water it in real good, and it will take care of the same problems that this will.
So you can't use it for pots outside?
You can use it for pots. Any of your potted plants you can use it for. But it's most, I only say for indoor plants because you don't want to be taking them in and out. Or your pool deck.
Outside, I don't have any.
Okay, well, outside works too. That'll work too. If you ever are in doubt of what you have going on at your house with plants or anything, your insects, something eating them or they just look weird, please bring a sample, take a cutting, take a picture. Samples are better, but if you want to take a sample and bring it in to us, and one of us here will be able to identify or help you with that problem. I can remember one time that somebody came in here with something that we didn't know what was. We didn't know what it was. So we told them to take it out of their ground and throw it away. Just get rid of it. If you have a fungus problem, plants are not really prone to fungus. I mean, if they get it, there's extreme circumstances. There's a root issue. There's, something else weird going on with it. I don't, you can treat them for fungus, but your funguses are more or less going to be on your turf grass or in the ground. That's where you want to start. I've had more people bring their avocado leaves in here and it's got brown spot on it. They do that naturally. A lot of plants just naturally do that. Your hibiscus trees, when they're blooming a lot, they're going to get yellow leaves and drop them. If they get too cold, the same thing will happen. I do have a thing up here about some of your beneficial pests. The website that I got it from is Florida Garden Pro. There's actually nematodes. I'm only lightly touching on this because we don't have them. But you can order them for your vegetable gardens or your other garden, any garden really. That these will take care of some of the pests in the ground. Your grubs, your other pests that are down there that are invading your roots on your plants. And your ladybugs, of course. There's also one called a trash bug. They're about the ugliest things. They eat the bad bugs or suck them all out, and they put their skeletons on their back. And they're kind of cool, but ugly. Very beneficial. And your ladybugs larvae and the little baby ladybugs are not pretty bugs. They're not the little pretty orange things with the black spots. And a lot of people think that they're a bad bug, and they will spray them and kill them. Just throwing it out there. So try to know your pests before you kill them. We have these sheets hanging up in Busy Bee inside the store. It has your funguses or your weird stuff on your plants, like the sooty mold on your leaves, white spots that you don't know what's from, cold damage, other things that you might want to, just not really know what's going on. And you can't get a hold of one of us real quick and you're in a hurry. You can look at these. It'll tell you what it is, what product to use to get rid of it, okay, and how to use it. And this is the pest ID. It has a list of the pests, what they do, and the chemicals that you need to take care of them on both sides.
Missy, can I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
What causes city mold?
City mold is basically bug poop.
That's what I thought. I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure.
If you
So
see,
you've
if
got
you're,
some kind of bugs on there.
Ye-
Yeah.
a lot of the time it's from mealybugs or whitefly. Whitefly will also leave a sticky. You'll see it on there. It's shiny. It's sticky when you touch the plants. There's not really one chemical that can get rid of the mold on there. There is a way we do it at Windsor. We would take the leaf shine spray and spray on there and let it sit there for a few minutes, rinse it off real good, and then spray it again and let it sit for about an hour, and then come back and spray it down real good with a hose, like a zero tip. I mean, good pressure hose. And that did get rid of most of it. But it's not something that you can do all the time. And on some plants, you can't do it at all because they're in the sun. And if they're in the sun, that leaf shine will burn them. So,
You also don't want to use that on fuzzy leaf plants.
yeah, or fuzzy leaf plants. Yeah, thank you. Because it'll stay on them. It won't come off. But it is from the bugs, this, excretion. And the whitefly sticky stuff, once you get rid of the whitefly, it usually goes away. Mealybugs are probably, in scale, but mealybugs in my world are terrible bugs. They'll knot up a hibiscus bush. They're on Xanadu. They're on plants that I would have never thought them to be on. They're just one of those bugs that adapt themselves to whatever environment they want to. And the minute you see one of them, you could look on here and find them. Once you see one of them, you need to treat it as soon as possible because they can destroy your plant quick. Scale can do the same thing. Once you see them in the crawler stages, they look like little bugs crawling up your plants. But once they attach themselves to that plant, it's very hard to get rid of them. That's when you have to go to a systemic and get inside the plant to kill them. So do your due diligence, pay attention to your plants, and every now and then just go out there and take a look. If you see something weird or strange, find out how to treat it and move on. Turf, your grasses. This is where you're going to find most of your funguses. There are pests for your grasses. The grub bugs are probably one of the worst ones. Your sod webworms are bad. And this time of the year, you'll start noticing things more so than in the summertime because grass grows really quick in the summer. You don't realize it's going on until it's too late. And then you have to treat it aggressively. You can even come into some situations where you may have to call in a company, pest control, to take care of it. And that's fine. You know, there are companies out there that will come and do a one-time pest control treatment, and 90% of the time it takes care of the issue. But your funguses in the wintertime are more prominent than they are in the summertime because we outgrow them in the summer. What else? The fertilizer issues around here. We have a rule in Lady River County that they do not want us fertilizing from May 30th till August 30th, which is our growing season. So you want to prepare your plants and trees and grass and everything for that time period that we're not allowed to fertilize. So you want to make sure that you're fertilizing in May and in September for sure on all of your plants and grasses and everything. That will help them make it through that winter time period when we're not growing, but they need that good energy to make it through the winter time and definitely to make it through our summers. The rain and heat and I mean, we just have all kinds of things going on in the summertime. And I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, but in Vero, I was there yesterday on Gardenia. Our oak trees over there are coming back fabulous. I was just so happy to see it. It about broke my heart when the tornado came through there and tore everything up. But the companies that have came in and trimmed those trees have done a very good job. They've root treated these trees with M roots and iron, and they're just coming back very, very, very nice. So it just means a lot to your plants when you take care of them and feed them.
Missy,
Yes, sir.
I think we about got everybody in here. So
Okay.
we're good to go. Guys, don't forget, next month after Garden Fest is the orchid class. That's the one that matters.
That's right. That's right. We have tickets up here for Garden Fest, so make sure you grab one of these. We also have our literature that we hand out here at Busy Bee. These are your planting instructions. I'm going to go over it real quick. And we have never, ever, since I've been here for almost 3 years, ever had somebody come in and say, I planted it just exactly like you told me to and it died. So please, when you buy something from here and you take it home to plant it yourself, follow these instructions. It'll save you a lot of grief in the long run. So just make sure you do that. We have this. This is our root stimulator. Never even knew it existed until I started working here. I knew about root stimulator for turf, but not this. Use it, especially this time of the year. It helps establish your plants 3 times quicker than they would establish themselves by themselves. It's just like a vitamin for your plant. These are our local solutions to local problems, and we do have our own issues. I was going to touch on a little bit. The way we're building houses around here now, this close together, it's almost impossible to say, well, I don't have any bugs in my yard, because you may have your yard treated, but your neighbor may not. And just keep it in mind, even though you have a company coming in spraying once a month, you still need to be diligent about checking your plants, because a bird, a lizard, a pet, something could come over to your yard and then you have an issue too. But these are some of our local, like weeds. That Florida snow, those weeds you see in your yard, we can't get rid of them. You would have to hire, yeah, you have to pull them out by hand, or you have to hire a professional to come in and spray that. We can help you knock it down, but we can't help you get rid of it. They do. It's a, hi. It's one of those things that you have to treat it over and over and over again. And then once you're rid of it, you still have to treat because it will not go away. Out. So that's one of those things.
At least it does look like snow.
It does, you know. So my yard has it. I'm not gonna lie. But I also have a dog. Pets. Pets are a huge issue. Even with some of our organic stuff that we have here, you still have to be very careful with your pets. The plants that you're buying, they may eat them. It could make them sick. They might throw up. But there are other plants like aloe that could really hurt your pets. So just be aware of that too.
Aloe.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
yeah. I'd take my dog to the vet.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
My pit bull thought they would play with it, and they were playing tug of war with it. And next thing I know, they foaming at the mouth. But yeah, you just be aware. There are certain plants that are not good for your pets. Most of the time, it's not really a big thing. The fertilizer I got off track there. Your NPK, your nitrogen, your potash, and your potassium. The first number, you know, that helps your plants get healthy and green and, you know, flourish and grow and thing. That N number is for the roots. That middle number takes care of every other thing that goes on with your plants, your flowers, your growth habits. There's soil conditions. It adds things to the soil that, you know, your macros and minors and things like that. So make sure that you're applying the right fertilizer to the right plant. Some like acids, some don't. Some like their pH high, some don't. So just keep that in mind when you're buying fertilizer. 8, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Those are most commonly used by some of your applicators, your companies. Those are broad spectrum fertilizers. They're going to, you know, green it up, keep it healthy enough to survive. But if you really want a lush garden, pay attention to what fertilizers your plants really need. And over on the island, that middle number, you don't even need it. If you get 21021, you know, you're fine. Because that island has everything in it that middle number represents. In pots, not so much.